Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 slice of life anime that I really haven't got to talk about in much detail. None of them really had enough for me to talk about to really make an entire video on them. So I packaged 3 of them together just in this video, and I'll talk about each of them briefly. First one is Non Non Biyori, and this one you may see immediate difficulty in how I've been able to not make an entire video on it. I love this slice of life. Even beyond the rest of them I'm going to list, this is probably my favorite of them. But it's hard to talk about because nothing happens. That is exaggeration, of course. There is something that happens, but compared to other slice of lives, this really revels in the fact that it is a life. There is monotonous, pretty plain and boring elements to it. Compared to a lot of slice of life, you see a lot of tropes come out of the exciting things that can happen in life. You usually see an entire year cycle. It's like, oh yeah, we'll have a firework festival and we're going to make that episode. Oh, what about the camping? We can do camping, that'll be fun. They have a lot of different things that get put about to really spice up those elements of life, and they show the best moments, which makes sense. It's a reasonable thing to do. To say that is entirely accurate, especially the small little thing packaging almost an entire year's worth of fun and not any bit of the boring lulls. It's not realistic, and Non Non Biyori I think is the most realistic, most down-to-earth slice of life there is. You may think, oh, that's a good idea, but maybe not good in execution. But I think for the right type of person, it will work for you. Maybe not the modern age of people who really grown up on technology will not relate to this because it's based in the countryside where there really isn't anything to do. You kind of just have to play outside. But for me, it gives a nostalgic feeling of when I was much younger, not even like, 11, 10. Like I had some tech, but even younger than that, like my grandparents' house, that's a big, just lot of woods, really. So there's nothing much to do. They don't got an internet connection. They just got a Sudoku book, right? And you can just kind of like fight with sticks and stuff. Like there isn't really much to do, and it kind of gives me a nostalgic feeling of those times with this show. It's very reminiscent of a time before adapting technology, which for me is also a really good time. A lot of depressing shit comes after you get technology in life. It revolves a lot more of the things where it's like, oh yeah, these menial things of growing up. Like you can relate to a lot of characters, like you get to that phase where it's like, man, the homework really doesn't do anything for me. I can just not do it. I had that phase. I had the Nosby phase of like, I'm not doing homework anymore. And you have those innocent phases of even younger where they like doing their homework. It was like, yeah, homework time, let's go, let's rock. It really encompasses a lot of those early times, at least in my life, and feels very relatable in that degree. I think if I knew exactly what to talk about, I could talk about this for a whole entire video, but there's so much of just like very basic activities that it's hard to commentate on. My second pick is Asteroid in Love, and I'm going to kind of go on the, oh yes, it has some nostalgia to be feel that I did with the last pick. So Asteroid in Love, it is a very like softcore type of Yuri title where it more focuses on this club. It's astronomy and geology got combined. It's earth sciences, so all these girls complete nerds, and I feel there's just many good moments in it. Beside the connection between the main two, it's really cool. It's also a very educational show as well on Rocks. Just gives a lot of accurate things, and it flows naturally into this series. It does. The weird nostalgic part for me is before high school absolutely destroyed my love for STEM. Before they took, oh, this kid's smart, we can just pummel him to the ground with work, and then force him to go to a good college, which, haha, fuck you, I didn't do that shit. I hate high school, by the way. But middle school was a different time. I actually enjoyed, those sciencey things. And I was in a club that we were making the things with solar panels, solar cars, little solar cars. and we tried to do a solar car racing at the end of the summer. It reminisces and gives me nostalgia for those activities. I remember my life became really depressing after middle school, but before then, it's happy, bubbly memories. So the slice of life that could give me that, they're going to be pushed up in the ranks, and Asteroid Love is one of those shows that does that for me. One last thing on that as well, it had an amazing character, Sakura, red-haired. I think it captured the kind of idea of what are you going to do with your life past high school. It's a struggle that I really love within narrative fiction because I relate to it a lot more because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I really relate towards that. Just the moment of like her in kindergarten, everyone's like, I want to be this, I want to be this. And she's like, I don't know. I don't know what I want to be. It's a very relatable thing. I think it's actually captured quite well for even a side character. So sides just as good as the mains, and I've already said enough on this show. I'll go to the last one. And the last one, as I previewed in the thumbnail, we're talking about New Game. Now this is definitely it's my least favorite of the ones I've listed thus far, just because it has less relatability, but it's a very just basic, good slice of life. And I've heard this be a gateway for a lot of people, and I've watched it and I agree, it's a really good one. I think a lot of catch for people is like, oh, gaming, you got all the gamers who watch anime and stuff. But if you are more of a artist, this is also a little bit better. This goes into more digital art. We're following mostly concept artists. Our main character is a concept artist. The person they are looking up to is a concept artist. And we're dealing with a lot of concept artist type of things, even if it comes to background, boss monsters. It focuses on a lot of that type of art. So if you're more focused in art, this is going to be a more interesting one. But there is a little like debug area that gets a little bit of time, a little screen time as well. So it develops a good amount of the game design production. Isn't full-fledged and completely accurate, but it's pretty good at capturing it, especially for something that, you know, it's just a cute girls doing cute things anime at the end of the day. The accuracies are just complimentable for even having them, really. So I especially kind of enjoy more looking at character designers' perspective. I do enjoy graphic design myself, so it's kind of interesting to see what they're doing there. They have a whole thing of them designing what promotional image they're going to do for the new game that they're making in season 2. Moments like that, really good. And the character dynamics are really good. Some very basic tropey characters, but I think they all fit well, and they're never too hard into their trope that they feel more like a trope rather than a character. They all feel naturally human at the end of the day. And there's a lot of great moments. Certain characters are better than others, but I think it is a very solid one that a lot of people do love, and I think deserves that love, fair enough. With that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you liked and enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.